advantages and disadvantages of incorporation. Here we are first considering the advantages of incorporating a company in comparing to the sole proprietorship and partnership, right? First advantage is independent corporate existence. Actually, when a company is incorporated, it is given the corporate personality, which means now it has a separate personality. It is a separate person apart from the shareholders, right? So the company has a separate path. It does not depend on the shareholders. It is a legal person. It has so many rights given after the incorporation, and no any connection between the shareholder other than the share purchase transaction. Okay, so because of this independent corporate existence, company can file legal cases against others, and other persons also can file legal case against the company in the company's name, right? And the very important thing is shareholders are safeguarded from the company's liabilities. Because of the company is a separate person, company's liabilities are limited to the company name. Okay, so the anytime no shareholder is bringing any asset of the share, any private asset of the shareholders to the company to settle down the company's liabilities. Okay, මෙතන අපි කියන්නේ කම්පැනි එකට වෙනම නෛතික පැවැත්මක් තියෙනවා. එයා වෙනම පුද්ගලයෙක්. අන්න ඒ නිසා ෂෙයා හෝල්ඩර් සහ කම්පැනි එක කියන දෙක අතරේ ලොකු ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම දෙන්නෙක් නිසා ෂෙයා හෝල්ඩර් කිසිම වෙලාවක කම්පැනි එකේ වගකීම් වලට අත දාන්නේ නැහැ. එයා කිසිම වෙලාවක එයාගේ පෞද්ගලික මුදල් ගෙනල්ලා කම්පැනි එකේ ණය පියවන්න උත්සාහ කරන්නේ නැහැ. මේ දෙන්න නිදහසේ ගමන් කරන පුද්ගලයන් දෙදෙනෙක්. Okay, the second advantage is ease of raising capital. An incorporated company can raise capital by issuing its shares. Usually we know that partnership, sole proprietorship, they are not issuing shares, no, so they can't find out any other additional capital or the initial capital by issuing shares. But a company can issue shares further and further and give those shares to the shareholders, and company can increase the capital. Okay, so that is very important because even the lending institutions are very they really like to give the loans and the capital to the companies, so that because of actually the lending institutions are giving the loans to the company very easily, because the company is a separate person. It has a perpetual succession because of those features. So the basically you have to identify company can get loans and raise capital because of this incorporation. Okay, third advantage is transfer of ownership. Actually since the company has a perpetual succession, it is a separate person, so the company will not be terminated because of the changes in the shareholders' possessions. As I told earlier, anyone can purchase shares, sell shares of the company, anyone can move out of the company, anyone can move into the company. So the ownership of the company can be easily transferred here and there. Because of that feature, the company concept is very famous, because even though the shareholders are going out and coming in, assets will remain unchanged and ownership company's other affairs, and those things will not be changed. But if we look at a partnership, when all the partnerships are gone out or coming in, or if the other partners does not want to bring another new partner to the partnership, that new partner cannot come. No, මම එතන කියන්නේ වෙන පාර්ට්නර්ෂිප් එක හැම පාර්ට්නර් කෙනෙක්ගේම කැමැත්ත නැත්නම් අලුත් පාර්ට්නර් කෙනෙක්ට පාර්ට්නර්ෂිප් එකට ඇතුල් වෙන්න බෑ. කම්පැනි එකේ ඒ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. අනිත් ෂෙයා හෝල්ඩර්ස්ලා කැමැත්ත අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. ෂෙයාර්ස් අතේ තියෙන කෙනාට පුළුවන් තමන්ට ෂෙයාර්ස් අවශ්‍ය නැත්නම් තමන් කැමති කෙනෙකුට ෂෙයාර්ස් විකුණලා කම්පැනි එකෙන් ඉවත් වෙන්න. රයිට්? මේ කම්පැනි එකට මේ සෙපරේට් පර්සනැලිටි එකක් තියෙන නිසා ඉන්කෝපරේෂන් එකෙන් එයා වෙනම පුද්ගලයෙක් බඩපත් වෙන නිසා තමයි මෙයාට මේ විදියට ඕනර්ෂිප් එක easily transfer කරන්න හැකියාව ලැබිලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay? Next advantage is limited liability. Always you should know that the central feature of a company is its limited liability. No shareholder will bring their private properties to the company to settle down company's liabilities. Okay, so it is identified as this is the most important advantage of incorporation, because all shareholders' personal assets are safeguarded because of this limited liability. Okay, we know that no, in a sole proprietorship or in a partnership, this limited liability concept is not available. Next advantage is enhance the business credibility. Usually when the company is dealing with the suppliers, customers and the business associates, company has a very big recognition when comparing to the sole proprietorship and partnership. Company is identified as a separate person, so when the suppliers are dealing, when the customers are dealing, they know that they have a very clear guarantee regarding their business affair. So the business credibility, the performance stability has been gone up because of the incorporation, right? Next advantage is perpetual existence. We know that company has shareholders, directors are running the companies, company has managers, officers, employees, but the most important thing is, even though these shareholders are moving in and moving out, even though the directors are resigning and the new directors are appointed, these managers are resigning and new managers are appointed, what happens in this circle? Company's existence will not be changed, right? shareholders ලා වෙනස් වුණා කියලා, company එකේ directors ලා වෙනස් වුණා කියලා, මේ officers ලා managers ලාට මොනවා වුණත් company එකේ අඛණ්ඩ පැවැත්මට මේ කිසිම දෙයකින් බලපෑමක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අලුතෙන් පත් වෙන director එක්ක, අලුතෙන් company එකට එන shareholder එක්ක මේ company එකට run කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ ගති ගුණය company එකට ලැබුණේ incorporation එක නිසා. එයා වෙනම පුද්ගලයෙක් බවට පත්වීම නිසා. Okay, common seal. We know that as an individual, we have a personal signature, right? When we are giving consent to something, or when we are agreeing with some particular document, we are signing off. But we know that the company is a legal person. It is not a physical person. We can't see the company, we can't touch the company, so the company can't sign off. No, so because of that reason, company has a separate common seal. So this is the official signature of the company. When the company is entering into an agreement, instead of signing off, we will put the company's seal on the paper, right? You should know that the directors are board of directors are the persons who are carrying out the activities of the company. So they are the one who are checking the agreements and giving the consent to enter into such agreements. in that case they are signing as the directors. In addition to that, they are putting the company seal, which is identified as the company official consent, right? And also under the old Companies Act, it was compulsory to place the company's common seal in every paper which the company is representing. But under the new Companies Act, this company seal, the compulsory that it is not compulsory to place the company seal. That requirement has been relaxed up to some extent. Okay. Now, separate management. We know that all the shareholders of a company do not have the brain to manage the company, right? They may be having cash, they may be rich, they have money, but they don't have brain to handle the company. That is why we have a separate managerial personnel, the board of directors. They are the one who are administering or the managing the company. That investors, shareholders are in a separate seat. Okay, so company has a separate management. Even though the shareholders are investing in the company, they can't interfere to the company's day-to-day operations. Okay, they have some sort of control in appointing the directors. When taking the major decisions, shareholders have some control, but day-to-day managerial things are handled by the board of directors. What do you think? Is it a good feature in a company? Actually, yes. කම්පනි එකක් මැනේජ් කරනකොට හැමෝම මේකට අත දාන්න ගියොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? අර කුක්ලා ගොඩක් වැඩි වුණාම හොද්දක් රස වෙනවද? නෑනේ නේද? අන්න ඒ වගේ ෂෙයා හෝල්ඩර් අත දානවා ඩිසිෂන්ස් ගන්නකොට මේ ඩිරෙක්ටර්ස්ලාත් කතා වෙනවා මේක ගැන. එතන කාටවත් හරියට කම්පැනි එකේ දේවල් තීරණය කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා අපි කම්පැනි එකේ ඔපරේෂන්ස් කරගෙන යන්න පවරනවා වෙනම ඩිරෙක්ටර් බෝඩ් එකට. සෙපරේට් මැනේජ්මන්ට් එකක් අපිට තියෙනවා. මේ ෂෙයා හෝල්ඩර්ස්ලා අයිතිකාරය තමයි. ඒගොල්ලෝ කන්ට්‍රෝල් එකක් තිබුණා කියලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට සමහර වෙලාවට කම්පැනි එක හැන්ඩල් කරන්න තරම් දැනුමක් නැහැනේ. අන්න ඒ නිසා ඒගොල්ලන්ට සල්ලි දීලා පැත්තකට වෙලා බලාගෙන ඉන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා කම්පැනි එකේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රස් එක ගැන. Now we are looking at the disadvantages of incorporation. When a company is established, do we really have to face for any disadvantages? Obviously yes. First disadvantage, expenses. If we have a sole proprietorship, when we are establishing that sole proprietorship, we don't have to file so many documents. It's just one or two application form to be submitted to the relevant authority, and we can operate our sole proprietorship, same as the partnership. But when we are incorporating a company, we have to most of the cases people are going for a company secretarial firm. Those company secretaries are assisting the shareholders to incorporate the company, so they are also charging a very big fee. There are certain documents to be prepared, and actually there are amounts to be paid to the company registrar, and also they have to appoint accountant, auditor. You know that sole proprietorship is not they are not audited, no, but companies, it's compulsory to conduct an audit, so we have to pay a considerable amount of money for these kind of expenses, which is not a good feature, right? Second disadvantage, double taxation, which means company has to anyway file a separate tax return. You all have learned taxation also. Now you must be having some idea regarding the tax return filing. Company has to file a separate tax return, and they have to pay separately taxes, when it comes to the shareholders also have to file a separate individual income tax return, and also they have to pay separate taxes, personal income taxes, right? So even though the same shareholders are holding the company, let's assume there is only one shareholder in the company, that is possible, no? That shareholder has to pay tax for himself as the personal income tax. The company is also paying the taxes separately. In that individual person's income tax computation, the profit he is getting from the company, we identify it as a dividend, no? That dividend is also has also been taxed, right? So we will see there are two separate taxation streams are proceeding in the company case. But if we take an individual, if there is a sole proprietorship owned by one individual, that is identified as the business of the individual, and the entire profit is identified as the individual's profit. So there is no double taxation because the sole proprietorship does not have a legal personality, no? So it is not filing a separate tax return, that is done only by the individual. That is why we are telling this company's concept. We will see double taxation. company එකත් බදු ගෙවනවා, ඒ company එකේ අයිතිකාරයා වුණ shareholder වෙනම බදු ගෙවනවා. එතකොට paperworks double වෙනවා. සල්ලි ගෙවනකොට double වෙනවා. එතකොට අර professionals ලට සල්ලි ගෙවන එක දෙගුණයක් වෙනවා. හැබැයි ඔයාට තනි පුද්ගල ව්‍යාපාරයක් තිබුණා නම්, ඔයාට partnership එකක් තිබුණා නම්, තනි ව්‍යාපාරය වෙනමයි අයිතිකාරය වෙනමයි බදු ගෙවන්නේ නැති නිසා මේ additional expenses අඩු වෙනවා. Understood? Okay. Next disadvantage, complex procedure. When it comes to a company, the Companies Act says you have to maintain so much of documentations, right? Detailed accounting books. When you are holding a meeting, you have to take notes, you have to prepare meeting minutes, and when the shareholders are when the company is giving loans to the directors, the interest should be recorded separately. When the directors are having some special interest over the company, that should be mentioned in a separate register. Tax return, like share transfer registers, bank account records, audit records. Likewise, a company has to maintain a list of documents. This is not happening in a company or the sole proprietorship or a partnership, right? These kind of audit books, like those meeting minutes, those are not available in a sole proprietorship. Because of that reason, we are telling companies have complex procedures, right? And also lack of control. We know company is owned by shareholders, but it is managed by the director board. So actually, in one point, what the shareholders wanted to do will not be implemented by the director board. But in a sole proprietorship, always the managing party is the owner, the sole proprietor, right? Then no two parties, only the owner is available to manage the company. Always what was required by the owner will be always implemented, right? මං කියන්නේ shareholder හැම වෙලාවෙම එයාට ඕන දේ කරගන්න බෑ කම්පැනි එකක් ඇතුලේ. මොකද ඩිරෙක්ටර් බෝඩ් එකනේ කම්පැනි එකක් රන් කරන්නේ. එතකොට මේ shareholderට කම්පැනි එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන පාලනය යම්කිසි ප්‍රමාණයකට අඩුයි. හැම වෙලාවෙම ෂෙයාර්හෝල්ඩර්ට කම්පැනි එක යාට ඕන විදිහට පාලනය කරන්න බෑ. හැබැයි සෝල් ප්‍රොප්‍රයිටර්ෂිප් එකක තනි පුද්ගල ව්‍යාපාරයක අයිතිකාරයමන එක පාලනය කරන්නේ. හැම වෙලාවෙම අයිතිකාරයට කරන්න අවශ්‍ය මොකක්ද? අන්න ඒක කම්පැනි එක ඇතුලේ එයාගේ බිස්නස් එක ඇතුලේ සිද්ධ කරන්න යට හැකියාව ලැබෙනවා. පාර්ට්නර්ෂිප් එකත් ඒ විදිහයි. පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලාට මොනවද මේ තමන්ගේ ෆර්ම් එක ඇතුලේ සිද්ධ කරන්න ඕනේ ඒ දේ කරන්න යාලට පුළුවන්. මොකද අයිතිකාරයයි මැනේජ් කරන කෙනයි කියන්නේ දෙන්නෙක් එක්කෙනෙක් මිසක් දෙන්නෙක් නෙවෙයි. පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලම තමයි මැනේජ් කරන්නේ. පාර්ට්නර්ස්ලම තමයි අයිතිකාරයෝ. Okay? Ongoing paperwork. When it comes to a company, annually companies have to file certain documents to the company registrar. For example, annual return form 15, right? Each company has to file annual return soon after their AGM to the company registrar. Not only that, companies have to prepare annual reports on the financial status of the company, and they have to distribute that to the shareholders also. Likewise, audited accounts regarding each financial year, company has to prepare audit reports, and when the meetings are held, the companies have to maintain meeting minutes regarding the meeting. Likewise, there are so many ongoing paperwork, not the initial works. They have to annually they have to do these kind of things. But have you ever seen a partnership is holding annual general meeting, AGM? No, it is not required. But the company has to conduct AGM and take meeting minutes likewise. Okay. Next disadvantage, difficulty in dissolving. We know that company has a perpetual existence. Even though the shareholders went out from the company will not be terminated. Company is moving forward, right? This is an advantage, but on the other hand, it is a disadvantage. Why? Whenever we want to dissolve the company, terminate the company, it's not easy to terminate. If we are having a sole proprietorship, I'm the owner. If I want to terminate the business, I can easily do so. Okay, but when it comes to a company, it cannot be done so. There are basically three methods of winding up. We have to select one first, and we have to follow the procedure laid down in the Companies Act, and it will take considerable time and considerable money for you to dissolve the company. So this is some sort of a disadvantage, right?